how can you use your church to help you be a better prepper? Today's video, we're going to discuss it. Hey guys, Titan Preparedness, either welcome back or welcome to the channel if it's your first time viewing. Today's video, we are mixing prepping and religion and finding out how you can use your church, your synagogue, your mosque, your whatever you want to call it, to be a better prepper. So first and foremost, let me start this video off by saying, whatever religion you want to celebrate, hey, more power to you. I'm going to say church because that's what I grew up with. So whatever religion you celebrate, whatever y'all use as a building, feel free to take church out and put that building in its place. So number two is that religion and prepping are not that far apart. You see, they're a lot more similar than one might think. The whole goal behind any religious building, any church, is to bring like-minded individuals together to discuss a topic that they all somewhat at least believe in, to spread that message, to get non-believers into the church and into their religion, and to help promote the idea that people need this religion. Prepping is not that much different, okay? The whole goal, and the reason I'm shooting videos, the reason there's 100,000 preppers on this app, the reason that people are on TikTok promoting prepping is the same reasons. We are trying to push the idea that you need prepping in your life. Church, you need Jesus in your life. Preppers, you need prepping. You need to be a prepper, right? So on paper, these two ideologies are not that far apart. So how can we use your church side to help your prepping side? Number one is the congregation. Preppers are always looking for a mag group, right? When you start prepping, it's one of the first terms that you learn. You learn about a bug out bag, you learn about rice and beans and why you should collect them, and then you learn that you need to join a mag group. Let me be the first to tell you that there are individuals who are part of mag groups who are a few fries short of a Happy Meal. I personally don't like being associated with mag groups. Most churches at least meet once a week, right? Every Sunday, at least where I live. These are the same people you see week in, week out, maybe a couple new faces, but you can start talking with those people about the last tornado that came through, about the last power outage, about the last whatever. And you can start building up this idea in their head that they also need to be like you and be prepared, or at least more prepared than what they are, because that last situation that they went through, you know, they didn't do too good. So you can start planting this little seed of ideology in their mind because you fared pretty well during the last disaster. So now you are more of a role model to them, right? So you start talking to them about stocking up on rice and beans. So they go out, they get the rice and beans, they come back to you for more information. Okay, I got my rice and beans, now what? Well, have you ever thought about growing a garden? They go out, they start a garden, they do fairly well, they come back to you for more information. Well, now what? Right? Self-defense, off-grid cooking methods, off-grid power solutions, lighting kits, bug-out bags, get-home bags, right? The list of ideas is a mile long that you can teach these people. And the more you teach these people, the bigger your mag group gets. You already kind of know these people, and now you're starting to put that idea in their head. You see them a couple times a week. You already know them. You already know their background, you know their wife, you know their kids, you know why they're prepping, you know why they're getting started, you know where they live, depending on how close you are. So you already know everything about them, and you know they're good church-going people as far as that goes. So why not start building your mag group with these people you already know, instead of going and joining some mag group that's 50 miles away of complete strangers? So the second idea is food pantries. Myself and David discussed this in our How Prepping Has Helped Over the Last 2 Years video. I'll link it down below or over here on one of these cards. At his church, which is about a congregation of 100 people, they started a food pantry. And members of the church, to include David himself, have used that food pantry to feed their kids, to feed the homeless people that are around that church, to feed people and coworkers that they know, to feed the old lady that lives down the road. They have used the church's money to build a food pantry that can reach out and help individuals. And some of those individuals are the same ones that show up to church on Sunday morning. So David himself has benefited from there being a food pantry, which he helped create at the church that he goes to. Now, when it comes to stocking up on food, as any of us preppers know, it can get difficult, right? Times can get tough, times can get tight, money gets tight. But if you start a food pantry in your church, well, they're going to continue to grow that food pantry, because every Sunday they're going to take up donations and take 10% of it out, 5% of it out, and go buy food with it. David said that his food pantry at his church filled up in 2 weeks. It's to the point where they had to make additional room because they kept getting more and more and more and more food. And obviously food does not stay good forever. So when it starts getting that, expiration time and they got to get rid of it anyway, hey man, I'll take care of that. I'll handle it. Take home some expired pasta, rebag it in Mylar bags. It's good for another 5 years. Number 3 is community outreach. If you are a church and you are not doing community outreach, I don't know why you're even a building. When I used to go to church growing up, my church did a lot of community outreach projects, especially the youth group and the young adults. We would go out and we would cut down firewood and we would pass it out to people. We would go down and we would help people put roofs on their houses, cut their grass, rake their leaves, do whatever that these elderly folks needed. The youth and the young adults were doing it. Community outreach, right? You want to go out and spread your message of your church to the community. Preppers are the same way. So maybe you end up helping out some guy and he's a prepper, or maybe he's growing a garden, right? You can start getting these tidbits of information from your local community by doing community outreach projects. You're still helping the community, which is what a church should do, but now you're gathering information. I know that Johnny over here owns a farm. Well, I'm going to go at least put a letter in his mailbox and said, hey, I came by and helped you out with the church a couple weeks ago. I've got some questions about your farm. Timmy over here is a prepper, because when you were cleaning up his yard, you saw his stockpile of sheep and goats and chickens and goats and ducks and whatever, right? So again, you can start reaching out to these people that your church is helping and say, hey, listen, I think that we think the same. You might not celebrate the same religion I do, but over here, I saw that you were prepared. I saw that you had a lot of rice and beans and livestock. I too believe in that ideology. So let's get together and let's toss around some ideas. Number 4, safe haven. Your church can be a safe haven for not just you, but for the local community that it supports. During the last cold snap that we had, where it dropped down to 0 degrees, a lot of our local churches were setting up for basically homeless shelters or refugee shelters, right? In case somebody lost power, in case somebody didn't have a way to keep their house warm, they could come to the church and have a nice place to stay for the night. Now, if you are a church, a building, and you are not set up and ready for people to come stay in your building, it's not going to end too well, is it? But if you get this seed, this idea of prepping in the minds of the congregation, well, they're going to go out and they're going to be ready to help out, right? So they're going to go out and buy cots, buy air mattresses, maybe a kerosene heater, maybe some chainsaws to help cut down trees in a local area, maybe lighting kits, right? Candles, flashlights, maybe some backup fuel stoves. That way, in case the main system goes down, they have a way to feed this congregation. These people that show up seeking refuge because some disaster just struck. And the 5th way that you can use your church to help you be a better prepper is garden space. Where I live, most churches have you know, a massive field either in front, behind, beside, somewhere around them. So you can use that land to help your prepping, to help you grow a garden, to learn how to grow a garden, to get ideas, tips, and tricks from those who have grown gardens before, all in the name of passing food out to the less fortunate. Why not help spread your message while also growing tomatoes, while also growing zucchinis, potatoes, sweet potatoes, whatever else you can grow in a field? You are killing two birds with one stone. So guys, this was just a quick video, topics right off my head. Give me some more ideas down in the comments section below, because that way when people watch this video, they can go down below and think, oh, I should talk to my church about doing that, or that, or that. If you do go to church, talk to them about starting a food pantry. This is probably one of the biggest ones, not just to help yourself, but to help the community, to help the people inside of your church, because there are certain people who might not admit it and will show up on their Sunday's best having not ate for the last 2 and 3 days. Talk to them about growing a garden. This is probably the second biggest thing in my opinion, because again, you are producing skills. You can get your youngins out there helping them out, right? Putting a little dirt on their hands that never hurt. And again, you're helping out your community. You're helping out those less fortunate, both in and outside of your church. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any tips, tricks, ideas, put them down below. That's all I got. Y'all stay safe out there.